पति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
Kind of. Not really.
Kind of. I mean, not that very interested either.
I'm not that much political, but yes, as a citizen I know politics.
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋನೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಜನಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ನಮಗೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆದರೆ ಅವರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡೆಲ್ಲ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೊರತು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
To a certain extent, not as a politician, but as a general citizen.
I am interested actually. My father was a MP. I am interested.
राजनीति में मेरी बहुत ज़्यादा दिलचस्पी है. अगर आप ये पूछे क्यों, तो उसका उत्तर यही होगा कि राजनीति का मतलब होता है राज और नीति. राज और नीति ये दोनों चीज़ें किसी भी राष्ट्र की दिशा को तय करते हैं और उस राष्ट्र को बनाने में मददगार साबित होते हैं. अगर राज और नीति ये दोनों चीज़ें अलग अलग पथों पर चली जाएं तो उस राष्ट्र का भविष्य उसका भगवान ही मालिक होगा.
Yeah, the basic rights which we are taught in schools. Like rights as in political rights.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Right to education. Right to education is one, right? Freedom of speech. And then
Yeah, fundamental rights to mention few like right to equality, right to information, right to speech and expression, etc.
ಏನು ಎಲ್ಲ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ 5 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಮನೇಲಿರೋದೇ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದೇ ರೈಟ್ಸ್.
Yes, I do. Yeah, to mention a few, one is right for voting and to fight against certain exploitations, and right towards religion.
Rights, the basic rights is the right of voting. Apart from that, there is no other involvement. Right to information nowadays, what's the most common thing? Right to information, RTI, the right to know about the politicians, assets and backgrounds and all that. Those are the basic things.
हाँ, मुझे अपने राइट्स पता हैं. संविधान के आर्टिकल 19 पार्ट 1 के तहत हमारे एक नागरिक के अधिकार दिए गए हैं. हमें कुछ मूल अधिकार हैं, जैसे कि बोलने का अधिकार, कुछ भी करने का अधिकार और हमारी सरकार से कुछ भी पूछने का हमें अधिकार है. हमें राइट टू इन्फॉर्मेशन एक्ट जो अभी अभी आया है उसके बारे में भी आपको पता होगा. हमें अधिकार हैं, लेकिन बहुत से ऐसे अधिकार हैं जो हमें संविधान ने दिए हैं, फिर भी आज की हमारी सरकार हमें उन्हें देने से साफ इनकार कर रही है.
First changes I would like to bring is the president should be selected by the common people, which is not happening in India, and that's the reason why India is not developing as faster as US or any other developed country.
I don't want to go into that stuff. Seriously.
Being a PM, I would do a lot of things that our current PM isn't doing. First of all, I feel a PM he should know his citizens first. That is what I would love to speak with my people first and know what they feel about countries, constitution, countries, what they feel about the government, and that is one. And second is talking about corruption, like that there's nothing about in our hands. So what I would do is enforcing education. Education is must. So I would do things that helps in education first of all, spreads education.
I would like to go for more of infrastructure developments and general development of the country rather than sobs of, which will do temporary measures rather than sobs of election sobs, more on a concrete measures that I would like to insist upon.
If I was Prime Minister, then I would not allow the transfer of these IAS officers. I would make them stay in a particular area so that they can do their duties in a proper manner.
पहली बात, किसी भी देश के सामने सबसे बड़ी चुनौती जो होती है वो होती है उसकी आंतरिक सुरक्षा। बाहरी सुरक्षा से ज़्यादा खतरा, बाहरी चुनौतियों से ज़्यादा खतरा हमें अपनी आंतरिक चुनौतियों से है। जैसे उदाहरण के तौर पर मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा, माओवादी समस्या। जब तक हम अपने अंदर की चीज़ों को ठीक नहीं कर लेंगे, हम बाहर कभी भी विजय प्राप्त नहीं कर सकते किसी पर भी। तो हमें सबसे पहले जो हमारी आंतरिक समस्याएं हैं उनको हल करना होगा। उनमें भी सबसे पहले जैसे नॉर्थ ईस्ट में आप देखें, उत्तर पूर्व में देखें, वहाँ पर हर राज्य में एक एक आतंकवादी गुट है और हमारे लगभग 20 राज्य माओइस्ट और नक्सलवाद की समस्या से ग्रस्त हैं। तो पहले हमें उसको हल करना होगा। जब हम ये हल करेंगे तभी देश में शांति, समृद्धि और शिक्षा आ सकती है।
If I would have been the president of the country, I would make sure that about the economy first of all, which is totally degrading, and I would try stopping black marketing and shit like that, because it should be strict as compared to other countries.
Probably if I become the president, which is okay. Anyways, if I become the president, probably I'll strengthen the relationship with other countries, the neighboring countries. Probably I'll make India more prettier, more beautiful.
President in India, as you know, is just a nominal head. But still, being a president of India, what I would do is I would just try to maintain good relations with the neighboring countries so that there is peace everywhere.
President is take firm decisions, basically not act as a rubber stamp of the government. That is the first and foremost thing.
President is, of course, I would create certain laws where they can actually prevent the female molestations and rape, such cases. Those laws will actually prevent such things from happening. Where, like in UAE countries, where they will hang them in public, such laws I would bring in play.
अगर देश का राष्ट्रपति होता तो मैं कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि भारत में आपको भी ये ज्ञात होगा कि राष्ट्रपति एक रबर स्टाम्प से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है। तो अगर मैं राष्ट्रपति होता तो मेरे सामने कुछ पेपर्स आते और मुझे ज़बरदस्ती उनको साइन करना पड़ता। इससे ज़्यादा मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता।
I think they are in good terms with all the developing countries, developed countries as well, but they should really stand on their own feet, because it's westernized and all the culture and everything just taking over by Western culture, which doesn't have a base to India.
I think the situation is much better than before. People are working in that regard, so I feel it's quite manageable.
Of course, India is a peace-loving country. It always tries to maintain a relation even with our neighboring countries. But there's one more thing, does our neighbor wants that? If it's there, then obviously there is peace. If it's not, then a signal एक हाथ से ताली तो नहीं बजेगी.
ನಾವು ಅವ್ರು ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಆಗಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ ಥರ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಾವು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಆಗಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಲ್ವ. ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ವಾರೇ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಅದೇ ಥರ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ.
It's see what we can maintain the relationship. Basically, sometimes when we have to be firm, we have to be firm. Just because of some vote-related things, you can't do soft pedaling sometimes. Nowadays, the trend is either because of other issues, background agendas. We are soft pedaling sometimes to gain votes internally. We are soft pedaling on our relationships. We are not taking decisions based on the realities. The decisions of the governments nowadays are based more on the internal politics. Even though they're external relationship, they base it on internal vote banks and this and that. So they soft pedal sometimes. So that has to go out, and then it has to be, decisions have to be firm and realistic. If it is right, it has to be taken. Where we have to soft pedal, we have to soft pedal. Where we have to put a strong foot, we have to put a strong foot.
Yes, but it's very difficult.
बना सकता है, लेकिन हमारी मानसिकता ऐसी है जो कभी उसको बनने नहीं देती, क्योंकि हमारी मानसिकता है एक दूसरे के पीछे भागने की और एक दूसरे से डरने की। उदाहरण के तौर पर मैं आपको एक बात बताता हूँ, आप सबको पता होगा, अगर कोई इजराइल पे कोई आक्रमण करता है तो जिस आक्रामकता के साथ इजराइल उसका उत्तर देता है वो पूरा विश्व जानता है, और इसीलिए उनके दुश्मन उनसे डरते हैं। हम ये नहीं कहते कि आप दुश्मन बनाइए, लेकिन हम ये कहते हैं कि सबसे मित्रता रखिए, लेकिन कोई आपकी पीठ में छुरा घोंपने की कोशिश करता है तो आप कम से कम उसको ऐसा उत्तर दीजिए ताकि भविष्य में वो ऐसा करने की कोशिश ना करे। मैं आपको उदाहरण के तौर पे बताना चाहूँगा, चीन जिसने 1962 के युद्ध में हमारी 90,000 प्रति वर्ग किलोमीटर ज़मीन हथियार रखी है, हमने उसका कुछ नहीं किया। ये कश्मीर की जो आज समस्या है वो उत्पन्न नहीं होती अगर 1947 में जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने कुछ बुद्धिमानी दिखाई होती। उस समय भी कश्मीर हमारे हक में आने वाला था, लेकिन उन्होंने ये बात कह के कि हम यूएन में मामले को लेके जाएंगे, आज तक वो मामला वहाँ पे अटका पड़ा है। तो हम रिश्तेदारी, दूसरे देशों से संबंध अच्छे बना सकते हैं, लेकिन हमारी मानसिकता ऐसी हो गई है दूसरों से दबने की, जिस वजह से हमारे संबंध किसी से भी अच्छे आज के टाइम में बन नहीं पा रहे हैं। अगर यह मानसिकता रहती है तो बन भी नहीं सकते।
By educating people first of all, because I think Indians are more driven towards speakers who rather talk about all kinds of good things, but they don't do anything to the common people, and they just follow like so they should actually learn. They should have their own intellect thing.
Start with us. You tell to a person, the other person goes to two more, and just spread like that. I think there are rallies and all, etc., happening, things happening with that. Such kind of things could be encouraged. I think it starts with one individual, and you just need to spread it.
Education. Like if people are educated, it's very important that the people of a country can read and write. So if that is there, then obviously people would know how their government is, and political awareness will be there.
ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೇಗಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು 5 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ವೋಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಅದೇ ಹೇಳೋದು, ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ 5 ಜನ, ಅವರಿಂದ 10 ಜನ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ನೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ.
You see, in our scenario, at present is, we have got a lot of people who don't know anything about politics. When the election comes, they see, okay, I'm given some money or I'm given something. They don't even bother about what is happening. So as a general, through newspapers or through films, the mass media only can generate that. Because nobody reads and all that, the level of the mass votes is much lower than what is expected, what you can reach through a newspaper or anything. It's only very minimal. Putting a newspaper advertisement and educating the right, only it will reach to 5% of the people. So if you have to reach to the mass, you can do only through the mass media.
Political awareness is we ourselves, if we become a political leaders, we ourselves need to do certain good things and become a role model in order to create such things.
People should be educated first, because they should know corruption is actually taking their economy down in the country, which is rising up the prices of all kinds of things we get now. So people should be educated about that. They should actually think, and workshops and conventions should be running all over India about that.
It's again the same, okay? Like, I am a banker. So if I start working in this direction, that I'm not going to take a bribe or I'm not going to encourage anything as such, probably it just carries on like that.
Preventing corruption, one has to, each and every individual of a country needs to be self-aware about things, and second is the education thing. If people are educated, then obviously they will be aware of things, and corruption, if they are not aware and they are not conscious, then obviously we can't do anything about even the government cannot do anything about corruption. Each and every individual has to know that thing.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವೇ ಎಲ್ಲ
Corruption in India can be, first is it has from top down. Now in India what is happening is corruption at lower levels, 500 crores, somebody taking a bribe, it becomes a news, and there is somebody taking a 500 crores, it goes away. So from the top down it has to happen.
Steps, as I told you, the main thing is the IAS officers and the police inspectors. They need to be in a proper place and look after the situation. So they need not be transferred from place to place when actually they try to find out certain corruptions. So that moment we need not shift them from place to place. We should give them total rights to actually do their duties.
भारत में देखिए, पहली बात, भ्रष्टाचार के लिए अगर आप कोई कानून बनाएं तो केवल और केवल कानून इसके लिए काफ़ी नहीं है। पहली बात, भ्रष्टाचार कोई एक ऐसी समस्या नहीं है कि आप कुछ कानून बनाएं या कुछ शक्ति दिखाएं और उसको बंद कर दें। भ्रष्टाचार ये लोगों की मानसिकता से आता है। अगर मेरी मानसिकता ऐसी कुछ काम नहीं हो रहा, मैं किसी को पैसे देता हूँ, तो वो एक मानसिकता है। मानसिकता को आप ऐसे ख़त्म नहीं कर सकते। पहली बात, अगर आपको भ्रष्टाचार को ख़त्म करना है तो उसके खिलाफ किसी कठोर कानून के साथ साथ सबसे अहम ज़रूरत ये है कि आप जो प्राइमरी, जो हमारी प्राथमिक शिक्षा होती है, आप वहीं से बच्चों को इसके खिलाफ, भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ जागरूक बनाएं। उनकी मानसिकता ऐसी बनाएं कि वो लोग इस सब में पड़े ही ना। भ्रष्टाचार, आप ये देखिए, कोई भी आप जो राष्ट्र हैं, यूरोपीय राष्ट्र या अमेरिका देखिए, वहाँ पे भ्रष्टाचार बहुत कम होता है। क्यों? आप उनकी प्राथमिक शिक्षा, उनकी पुस्तकें उठाइए, उनमें साफ ऐसी जागरूकता फैलाई जाती है बच्चों के मन में कि वो आगे बढ़कर इन सब के बारे में सोचते नहीं, वो खुद मेहनत करते हैं और अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होते हैं। हमारे देश में ये सारी चीज़ें आज के टाइम में नहीं हैं। प्राथमिक शिक्षा केवल नाम मात्र के लिए रह गई है, और हर जगह किसी भी काम के लिए आप अगर जाते हो तो आपको पैसे देने पड़ते हैं। और भ्रष्टाचार केवल पैसे का लेन देन नहीं है। अगर मैं यहाँ पे डॉक्टर हूँ, अगर मेरे पास कोई मरीज आता है, मैं उसका इलाज ठीक से नहीं करता हूँ, तो ये भी एक भ्रष्टाचार है। मैं अपनी जिम्मेदारी से भाग रहा हूँ। तो भ्रष्टाचार के एक रूप नहीं होते, भ्रष्टाचार के अनेक रूप होते हैं। ज़रूरत इस बात की है, हम अपने चाल चलन, अपने व्यवहार और हर चीज़ में आज परिवर्तन लेके आएँ, तभी देश आगे जा सकता है, तभी भ्रष्टाचार को रोका जा सकता है।
Yeah, but not soon enough, but it will, because it's struggling a lot, and in another 50 years or so, I think it will be.
It can, I mean, it should actually. It's a gradual process, might be, it's going to take time, but then yes, I think it has got that part. We are young, and these days everything is just young, and the youngest thing going on, so but it will happen.
I can't understand what is fully developed nation actually, but yeah, development obviously. Right now we see like the Indian rupee that's falling, but yes, the thing is, it has to go on, and development, obviously we are going towards development. Yeah, but that's not the actual development that we want. People are still hungry in our country, poverty is there, but in case of materialistic development, obviously we are rising, and hopefully one day we are still far from development again.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಿರೋ ಪೊಸಿಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಇದರ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಕ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
It can happen, but it will take some time. The multiple city in India and the political background which we are having, it may take some time, but it is possible. When all the younger generation takes charge and then they don't follow the footsteps of the current scenario, then it can happen.
yes, it can, but it's really difficult. It means it is not difficult, it takes time. As Abdul Kalam told, he wants it to be totally developed by 2020, but 2020 is a short time. Maybe it will take some more time for it.
इंडिया एक डेवलप्ड कंट्री नहीं, भारतवर्ष पूरे विश्व पे राज कर सकता है, लेकिन उसके लिए सही नीति और सही नेताओं की ज़रूरत है। जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया और आपने भी समस्याओं के बारे में पूछा, भ्रष्टाचार या जो आंतरिक समस्याएं हैं, सबसे पहले हमें पूरी ईमानदारी से उनको हल करना होगा। फिर कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें हैं, कुछ ऐसे कानून हैं जो हमें बनाने होंगे ताकि इस देश में भ्रष्टाचार, जनसंख्या और जो हमारी आंतरिक सुरक्षा है, उन मामलों को हम कम कर सकें और देश को और राष्ट्र को आगे लेके जाया जा सके।
I don't bribe people, police and everything, and I don't throw stuff in illegal places and try to be a good citizen.
Each one of us has got a role to play. I take an example, like probably traffic lights. Don't stop. Don't give him a bribe just because you're wrong. Probably just take the. I mean, it starts with everybody. Like each one of us individually take an initiative. Let's not encourage corruption. Let's not do it. Let's not encourage it. Then probably things will work out.
I'll just give one example. Whenever I go to a shop, I buy anything, I ask for the bill. So in that way, I think I prevent black money going into.
ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
Economy. As an individual, first thing is you refuse any bribery given to you for vote. Then you publicize wherever it is happening. You find it, educate the next fellow, and try to bring it to the notice, directly or indirectly. As a self, first you stop taking the bribe for a vote.
My duty is I should not take black money or I should not steal. That's my first duty.
I'll pass this question.
Just let them do what they're doing. Do what you want to do. Don't just get onto the roads and don't have too much of rebellious nature. Only let the other person do what he wants to do. Try to put up your thoughts. Don't be too very aggressive. Only things will work out.
Political stability can be. There is only one thing of awareness. If people get politically aware, how people will get politically aware? First thing, it will be when people know their powers. It's a democratic country, and if people know what they can do, what change they can bring, only in that time, in that case, people can get self-aware. And second is the education. If people are educated, then obviously the baseline is education. People must know how to read and write, so that no one can fool them.
ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಜನಗಳು ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿನ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ನೋಡಿ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂನ್ಸಿಲಿ 5 ಜನ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ 5 ಜನಕ್ಕೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದಾಗೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇದಾಗೋ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ.
Political stability in India can happen only when horse trading stops. That is the major thing. The horse trading has to stop, and people should vote with a clear conscience and a majority. As long as you have this fluctuating thing, 50% voting here and 49% voting there, stability won't happen. There will always be jumping and all. So people should give clear mandates, then the stability will come.
देखिए, अगर आपके पास 1000 राजनीतिक दल हों तो आप राजनीतिक स्थिरता के बारे में सोच भी नहीं सकते, सपने में भी आप कभी नहीं सोच सकते.
Follow all the fundamental rights in a proper manner. Follow all rules and regulations, and no much bribing. So where bribing comes, the stability automatically goes off. So first, if we stop that, maybe it will become stable.
सीता